The shocking facts about living in Scotland. Scotland is a land of stunning beauty and rich culture, offering visitors and residents alike a unique experience. From rugged mountains to historical castles, Scotland is a dream destination for many. But as with any place, there are some shocking facts about living in Scotland that may surprise you. Whether you're thinking about moving to Scotland or just curious, these facts will give you a deeper look into what life here is really like. Let's dive into these lesser-known truths that will help you make the best decision if you're considering a life north of the border. Scotland's weather. Let's talk about Scotland's weather. If you've ever visited Scotland as a tourist, you might have experienced the unpredictable nature of the weather firsthand. Imagine you've planned a lovely day out to explore Edinburgh Castle, only to be greeted by a sudden downpour. That's Scotland for you. You might hear people say Scotland experiences all 4 seasons in a single day. And honestly, it's true. It's not unusual to be out for a walk under clear blue skies, only to have the weather change completely, sending you scrambling for an umbrella. But it's not all bad news. This ever-changing weather often leads to incredible sights, from rainbows that seem to pop up every day to dramatic cloud formations hanging over the hills. It's this whimsical weather that adds to Scotland's charm. And as a resident, you'll learn to embrace it. You'll start conversations with locals about the weather, bond over the surprise showers, and find joy in the occasional sunny day when it finally arrives. The unpredictability of the weather is part of life here, and for those who love a good challenge, it can be part of the fun. You'll quickly adapt and find that the rain is just another excuse to head inside for a warm cup of tea or a dram of Scotch whisky. The Scottish landscape. Scotland's landscape is truly breathtaking, from the snow-capped peaks of the Highlands to the serene lochs and lush green valleys. The country offers some of the most picturesque scenery in the world. But here's the shocking part. Living in Scotland means that the landscape isn't just something you look at, it becomes part of your everyday life. For instance, if you love hiking, Scotland will feel like paradise. The country boasts an abundance of hiking trails, many of which offer stunning views and a good workout for anyone willing to take on the challenge. However, the terrain isn't always easy. Long, winding roads lead to some of the most remote villages and stunning natural sights, and you'll need a reliable vehicle if you plan to explore beyond the cities. For those who are used to wide, straight roads, Scotland's narrow country lanes might take some getting used to, especially in the winter months when conditions can get tricky, but the rewards are worth it. Whether it's the majestic views of Ben Nevis or the peaceful shores of Loch Ness, the landscape is an endless source of awe. As a resident, you'll have easy access to all of this natural beauty, but you'll also need to be prepared to get out there and explore. You'll learn that Scotland's scenic wonders are best experienced on foot or by car, and the country's great outdoors will quickly become an extension of your living space. The Scottish people. One of the biggest shocks for newcomers to Scotland is the nature of the Scottish people. Scots are famously friendly and welcoming, and you'll quickly find that they love to chat, especially in smaller towns. Whether it's over a pint of beer or a cup of tea, you'll often find yourself in the midst of conversations with locals who are eager to share their stories and experiences. The warmth of the Scottish people is one of the best parts of living here, and it's one of the things that makes Scotland feel so homey. However, not everything about the Scottish social scene is as easygoing as it may seem. While people in larger cities like Glasgow and Edinburgh tend to be more open and accustomed to meeting newcomers, the social scene can be a bit more difficult to break into in smaller, rural villages. Locals in these areas might be more reserved initially, and it can take time to earn their trust. But don't worry. Once you've made a few connections, you'll feel like you've always been part of the community. In fact, many people find that the longer they live in Scotland, the more they come to appreciate the genuine, no-nonsense nature of the locals. And let's not forget about the Scottish accent. It can be a bit challenging at first, especially for those who aren't familiar with the dialect. But don't be intimidated. Scots are patient and will be more than happy to repeat themselves if needed. Over time, you'll not only understand the accent, but may even adopt a few of the quirky expressions that are a hallmark of Scottish speech. The cost of living. Living in Scotland offers a lot of advantages, but it's also important to understand the financial side of things. While Scotland is known for its picturesque towns and rich culture, the cost of living can vary widely depending on where you decide to settle. Major cities like Edinburgh and Glasgow can be expensive, with rent prices that rival those of London. If you're planning to live in the heart of a city, be prepared for higher living costs, especially when it comes to housing and dining out. However, there's a surprising upside. Scotland is still generally more affordable than many parts of the UK, especially when compared to London. Rent and general living expenses are more reasonable in smaller towns and rural areas, and many people find that they can live comfortably without breaking the bank. The key to enjoying affordable living in Scotland is knowing where to look. Towns like Stirling, Perth, and Inverness offer a balance of affordable housing and easy access to nature, making them perfect for anyone looking to enjoy the Scottish lifestyle without the sky-high costs of the major cities. And public transportation in Scotland is reliable and affordable. Buses and trains connect most areas, and they offer an excellent alternative to owning a car. In fact, many locals find that they can save money by relying on public transport, especially if they live outside the major cities where parking and car ownership can be costly. A different way of life. Let's talk about the food scene in Scotland. Sure, you've probably heard of haggis, shortbread, and the classic Scottish breakfast. But there's so much more to Scottish cuisine than these staples. In recent years, the food scene in Scotland has evolved dramatically. The country is now home to a thriving culinary culture, with a wide variety of restaurants and food vendors offering both traditional Scottish fare and international cuisine. Scottish cuisine isn't just about what's on your plate, it's also about the drinks. Scotland is world famous for its whisky, and living here means you'll have access to some of the best Scotch whiskies available. Whether you're a connoisseur or a casual drinker, you'll have plenty of opportunities to sample a wide range of whiskies at festivals, tastings, and local pubs. If whisky isn't your thing, Scotland also has a growing craft beer scene, and you'll find plenty of options to quench your thirst with a locally brewed pint. But beyond the food and drink, Scotland is also a place steeped in tradition. From Chaelid dancing to bagpipes, the country has a rich cultural heritage that's evident in its daily life. Living in Scotland means becoming part of a community that celebrates its past while embracing the future. Whether it's attending a local festival or simply enjoying a quiet evening with friends, the way of life in Scotland is a blend of old and new, creating an experience that is both timeless and exciting. Scotland, full of surprises and opportunities. Scotland is a place like no other, full of natural beauty, rich history, and warm, welcoming people. However, living here comes with its own set of surprises, from the ever-changing weather to the challenges of navigating its rugged terrain. But despite these quirks, Scotland offers an incredible quality of life, especially for those who love nature, history, and a sense of community. And this is one of the most shocking facts about living in Scotland. So are you ready for an adventure? Scotland might just be the perfect place for you, offering both excitement and a slower pace of life that can be incredibly rewarding. Whether you're moving for work, family, or simply seeking a fresh start, Scotland's mix of old-world charm and modern convenience could be exactly what you're looking for. What do you think? Would you be willing to embrace Scotland's unique lifestyle? Or do you think the challenges might be too much? Let us know in the comments below. Scotland could be your perfect place to call home. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.